And we saw at a local restaurant, actually just down the street, they had a product called fajitas. It was a Mexican food restaurant, El Paso Cantina was the one, how I remembered it. Later on, it became Acapulco. But they had this really cool plate of sizzling fajitas that would come out with bell peppers, tomatoes, onions, and steak or chicken. And we thought, my uncle had the idea, maybe we could do something like this, but we do it with fish, specifically shrimp. So we bought tomatoes, we bought onions, we bought bell peppers, and we bought them by the pallet. At one point, we were selling so much. We bought machines to slice them. We invented our own secret recipe seasoning, a fajita seasoning, if you will, a Cajun spice. And we put some griddles outside and we mixed the fish and the shrimp with the veggies and the seasoning and tortillas. And it was a hit. The smell was in the air. People were like, this is really cool. I want to get some of this. Then we started doing barbecues. We put old barbecues that we'd found sort of that were no longer being used. We ran a gas line. We threw some wood in there, and if you bought a fish for an extra $1, we'd cook it for you. So now we had these grilled fish, we had the shrimps, fajitas going on, and then we thought, what would be good with this is red potatoes. We've got these steamers inside where we do our live crab and lobsters. What if we threw red potatoes in there, walked them into the chiller, sliced them up, added them in with the bell pepper, the tomato, the onions, and the seasoning. And what would be even better? Let's work with one of the local bakeries we know and have them do some loaves of garlic bread. And so little by little, this tray of fajitas evolved into what we started to call the world famous shrimp tray, because it started to become an instant hit. People were traveling from all over the place to try this tray. So then we decided to switch it up and give people the choice to add any kind of seafood they wanted. It didn't have to just be shrimp. So what did we do? We had a whole display of fresh fish from all over the world. Fillets, whole fish, scallops, octopus, calamari, you name it. Salmon, sea bass, swordfish, snapper. Some of the stuff came from New Zealand, some from Mexico. We had stuff from all over the world. So we allowed people to just make up your own tray. And the way I would speak it was, look at this empty tray. This is like an empty canvas. And you're going to paint it with your choice of seafood, and you're going to make your own masterpiece, and you're going to make it world famous. And that's what people would do. They would add clams, they'd add calamari, they'd add mussels, lobster, king crab, shrimp, salmon. I'll add the veggies and the potatoes, give me a loaf of garlic bread and some tortillas, and boom, we had these world famous seafood trays going out all over the place. And then they started to become viral. So what does that look like? Well, that looks like us becoming one of the top 10 most Instagram restaurants in the country, because people could not believe the size of these massive trays when they would see them. And so they were Instagramming, they were geotagging, they were sharing it with people. And now what happens is people come in visiting us and they say, I used to come here when I was a little kid with my parents, and now I've got my parents with me and my kids. 3 generations, sometimes even 4, to have that same experience of these world famous trays, sit out on the water, and really enjoy time with family. That's why we call our value proposition celebrating food and family. And people travel from all over. At one point, we did a viral video with our friends at Food Beast, and that pulled in 30,000 customers from every state in the country in a matter of 10 days, just 10 days, all to have a world famous super tray is what we called it in that particular video. But it was the same thing. People came in and they got to pick out whatever seafood they wanted and enjoy it. And it was pretty awesome. So what does that mean today? That entire story was about how we innovated. And what we created was an experiential seafood brand where people can innovate or invent their own seafood trays. We let people partake in that experience, and it creates something that you can't get too many other places. Except now I'm finding a lot of copycats that are doing it. So the key is for a business to be competitive, survive and thrive through multiple economic situations, recessions, rainfall, and whatever else comes your way. Inflation would be the one for today. You've got to continually innovate, and you never give up. And that's our story. That's how the world's famous shrimp tray was born.